Imagine being a diehard fan, offered the chance of a lifetime, front row seats to the Super Bowl. But instead of cheering in the stands, you find out those dream tickets were stolen by your own colleague. And what happens next? Oh, you're going to love this. If you've ever been stabbed in the back by someone you trusted, someone who thought they were too clever to get caught, this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for one of the most cold-blooded, satisfying revenge moments we've ever covered. I'm what you'd call a ravenous 49ers fan. The kind that tailgates from sunrise, grills burgers in the parking lot, and bleeds red and gold. So when the Niners made it to the Super Bowl a few years ago, it wasn't just a game, it was destiny. At the time, I was working at a consulting firm. Not a huge company, but big enough to have layers of politics and power plays. I handled a handful of key client accounts, one of which had turned into something more than just business. The guy was cool, funny, sharp, and over time, we became actual friends. Drinks after meetings. Inside jokes. The kind of rapport you hope for in corporate life. He knew I lived for the Niners. And as a surprise thank you for my hard work, he pulled some strings and got 2 extra company Super Bowl tickets, 30-yard line seats. Then he handed them over to someone I'll now refer to, quite fittingly, as Dickhead Partner. That's when the betrayal began. Clapperboard the setup. The Super Bowl came and went. The Niners lost, heartbreaking enough. But the real sting came a week later. We met up for drinks as usual, and mid-conversation he casually asked, "Hey, why didn't you go to the game? I heard someone else was in your seats." I blinked. "What game?" He looked confused. "The Super Bowl. I gave Dickhead Partner tickets for you." My stomach dropped. The kind of drop where the air leaves your lungs. I could feel my pulse in my ears. I tried to play it off, laugh it off, but something was seriously wrong. I got back to the office and poked around discreetly. That's when one of the secretaries let it slip. Those tickets? Dickhead Partner had gifted them to a completely different client. Not even one of his major ones. Just someone he was trying to impress. He stole my Super Bowl dream and handed it off like it was pocket change. Now, I could have confronted him directly. Maybe even raised it with senior leadership. But let's be real. Corporate retaliation is a thing. And guys like him? They slither through HR policies like snakes in suits. But then I remembered something crucial. The client noticed I wasn't there. The guy who gave me the tickets in the first place was confused, which meant he could be my silent partner in revenge. I texted him, "Hey, just wanted to say thanks again for thinking of me. It seems those seats were given to someone else." His reply? All caps, "Are you shitting me?" Then, "Pretend I never told you. Let me handle this." A few days later, we were invited for an in-person client meeting. Nothing unusual. But this time, the client specifically requested Dickhead Partner attend. On the flight over, he was clueless, acting like we were best buds, talking about dinner plans. Meanwhile, I knew we were walking into an ambush. And honestly, I couldn't wait. We walked into the conference room. Everyone was there. The usual team plus one unfamiliar face. A sharp-looking woman in her 30s. She looked calm, confident, and I could already tell this was no ordinary meeting. Client stands up and says cheerfully, "Dickhead Partner, this is Stephanie such and such, VP from our internal division. She wanted to sit in on this meeting." Then he turns to me. "Hey, Opie, you guys must already know her from the Super Bowl." The room goes still. Stephanie tilts her head and says, "Oh, I don't think so. Did we meet there? Sorry if I forgot." Client keeps the act going. "Steph, come on. They were right next to you." I play along. "Sorry, I wasn't there. Maybe you're thinking of someone else." Dickhead Partner turns pale. His fingers start fidgeting. Then Stephanie, completely in character, leans in. "Oh, I remember now. It was so-and-so from Random Company. Wait, why did we give those guys tickets again? Are we working with them?" Client stares at Dickhead Partner, then calmly asks, "Dickhead Partner, I gave you those tickets for OP, right?" He stammers, "Oh, well, he couldn't make it, so he gave them to someone else?" He looks at me, like I'm going to lie for him. Client raises an eyebrow. I say deadpan, "Wait, You gave me Super Bowl tickets? This is the first I'm hearing of it. Boom. Client stands. Smoothly zips up his portfolio, slides his iPad into his briefcase, and says, "I think this meeting is over." Then, with a smile, "Opie, looks like I owe you a proper thank you. Let's go to lunch." "Stephanie, you're welcome to join us." Dickhead partner stammers, "I'd like to join too, maybe clear the air." Stephanie shuts him down cold. "I don't think that's a good idea." Then she calls the front desk. "Can you please escort Mr. Dickhead partner to the lobby?" The door closes behind him. We burst out laughing. Turns out, Stephanie wasn't even a VP, just someone the client drafted to act the part. And she nailed it. Lunch was incredible. High-end restaurant. 3 bottles of wine. Client made sure to overspend. All for a reason. On our way back, I got a desperate text from Dickhead partner. "Please, we need to cover for the firm. We'll talk when you get back." I waited a few hours. Then, as instructed, I sent this. An invoice for the resale value of the Super Bowl tickets. Well over $10,000. A bill for our lavish lunch. A demand for a direct apology to me. A formal, written apology to the client's company. And a notice. Client would now only interact with me or another partner. Never him again. The firm freaked out. But I came out looking like a hero. I didn't throw him under the bus. I let him climb under it himself. Dickhead partner lost the client, his revenue share, and had to pay out of his own salary. All while I got praise for salvaging the relationship. You could say justice was served cold and overpriced with a side of wine. He thought he was too important to be caught, too slick to be punished. Instead, he got humiliated in front of a client, lost thousands, and watched his influence crumble. All thanks to a bit of acting, clever timing, and some sweet, sweet karma. Looking back, I still regret missing that game. But sometimes, revenge tastes better than front row seats. And let's be honest, if the Niners make it again, I will be there. No snakes in my way this time. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell us in the comments. What's the pettiest or most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And if you love stories where karma hits like a truck, don't forget to subscribe. We've got more jaw-dropping tales coming your way soon.